Another type of activity that we can use to be able to prevent or recover from burnout and be able to deal with stress, and again, just to be able to increase kind of a sense of wellness and happiness in our life, involves meditation. And there's a number of different kind of meditations, even some of the other practices. If we really focus on our breathing, or if we focus on the feel of the sun and the wind against us as we're outside, those can become meditative practices. Right now we're going to do a particular kind of meditation which involves a loving kindness meditation. And most of us are people who really value being loving and being kind people, and that's an important part of who we are. But if you're like me, I think many of us find that we're not always operating from a loving and a kind place. So it's useful sometimes to be able to recenter ourselves and to be able to really focus on that loving kindness. So in this particular meditation that we're going to do, which is kind of a guided imagery meditation, what I'd like to ask you to do is to think about a source that's really positive outside of yourself. It can be another person who you have a very positive, maybe very nurturant, that person's very nurturant to you, maybe a parent or a grandparent, or for other people that sometimes it may be a religious or spiritual figure, or for some people it's kind of the goodness in the universe. It's really individualized, whatever fits for you. But if you can think again for some source of positive energy or loving kindness, if you could identify that. And now that you have, if you can go ahead and close your eyes, if you're comfortable doing that. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, that's okay, but just take a deep breath and relax a little bit. And what I'd like you to do is to imagine that source, that positive, good source, is now sending loving kindness towards you. So that loving kindness surrounds you, and not only surrounds you, but kind of suffuses you and fills you with a sense of warmth, with goodness, with love, with kindness. And allow yourself to really savor that, almost like taking a nice warm bath. So the loving kindness surrounds you and fills you up. And as you enjoy those feelings, say to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be happy and healthy. And take another moment to imagine that this source of positive energy and loving kindness is really radiating the loving kindness and the warmth and the goodness towards you. And allow yourself to bathe in that. And while you let that good feeling continue, I'd like you to also think about someone very important to you, very close to you, that you have positive feelings, that you probably love. It could be a spouse or a partner or a family member or a really good friend. Think about that person, identify them. And as you have your eyes closed still or in that relaxed place, now I'd like you to imagine that you're able to radiate out to them loving kindness. So the loving kindness that you feel now surrounds that person and fills them up with a sense of goodness and loving kindness, and that they're benefiting from that. And in your mind, say to yourself, may this person be filled with loving kindness, allow those good feelings to continue from yourself to that person. But now imagine someone else, maybe a person that you're concerned about or worried about. It may be a client or a patient that you're concerned about who's having issues or in a difficult state of their illness. Or maybe it's a friend or a family member who's also going through a really difficult time or dealing with a lot of stress or with an illness. And now that you've identified that person, imagine again that you're sending love and kindness from your heart, from yourself, to that person. And imagine that loving kindness is surrounding that person, and holding that person, and filling them up, and helping to heal that person from their stress, from their worries, from their illness, from whatever is making life difficult for themselves. And say in your mind, may this person be filled with loving kindness. May they become healthy and happy. And if you like, and this one's a little more difficult for some people to do, maybe think about a person that you're having conflict or difficulties with. And now that you've identified that person, see, again, sometimes it's more challenging, see if you can also send to them a sense of loving kindness. So that that person that you're having some difficulty or conflict with is surrounded by loving kindness and goodness, and say in your own mind, may this person be filled with loving kindness. May they become healthier and happier. And finally, I'd like you to return to yourself. Think again about your own self and go back to whatever source of loving kindness is strongest for you. Imagine that source is sending you loving kindness, positive energy, so that that surrounds you and holds you and fills you up. Allow yourself to savor that, even as you say to yourself, may I be filled with loving kindness. May I be healthy and happy.